Good afternoon and welcome back to the World War America podcast. This is Anderson Thomas. Thanks for joining me. So today we're talking about the secret Chinese government police station in Manhattan. You heard me. New York City. I tracked it down. I found it. Okay, so there's a report floating around out there, and some online news outlets have reported on it, that there is this Chinese police service station. There are a bunch of them located all over Europe. There's a few in Canada. And there was a mention in this report that was done by this nonprofit group that says there was one in New York. So I went looking and I found it. I found this thing. And yes, there is an overseas service center, police service center for Chinese nationals who need the services of Chinese police in New York City. It's in Manhattan. I've seen the police officers, or the people who are supposed to be the police officers, I guess. I've seen their office. All right. I've seen the banners up on the wall. I've seen it all. So here's some of the issues that these guys have when you think about it. Right. First of all, this can't be legal. Now, I guess some will say that it is, but I don't know how. Especially since I went looking to see if there's any type of registration or anything in place. They're not registered for anything. As a matter of fact, the organization that they registered, that they're running this through, is a nonprofit. And the nonprofit had its status revoked in May of this year. So they're like off the books. Totally. Not only that, but I checked the Department of Justice FARA filings to see if they filed as foreign agents. I mean, anyone who's here working as someone who is helping a person with a police matter, or even with their identification, because they're saying they're helping Chinese nationals renew their driver's licenses, right? Okay, well, that you have to file as a foreign national for that. So I checked, no filings in FARA. All right. So this is not only a foreign police presence acting on our soil. They're doing it unregistered and totally outside of the law here in the United States. The Chinese government has presented these individuals with awards. I've seen it. I've been on websites in China where you can see photographs and video of the Chinese government presenting the people who designed this thing with awards, and they're wearing military uniforms, by the way. So here they are receiving awards. They are receiving, according to some reports, thousands of calls. They're doing all this work, and it's totally unregistered, and it's like nothing to see here is how people are treating it. Well, I'm glad you guys are listening, because this is the type of stuff that we dig into at the World War America podcast. And why is this something that we dig into? Because it's something that the news is going to oversee, the media people. It's something that our law enforcement isn't going to pay attention to until it's too late, right? And so this is where a citizen journalist comes in. This is where I come in, between the cracks, right? This is something that's slipping between the cracks. And by the way, this tends to be how China has been operating. They're not spending a lot of money to come after us on certain things like this, but they are very effective with the little bit that they are spending. This is an example of it. Okay, so they are extending their legal system out through the world through these service stations. And this one in New York City is unregistered. No one there has registered. The nonprofit they're running it through has been revoked. It's unbelievable. So for our purposes, what do we need to know? Where do we go from here? It's not enough to be upset. We need to know exactly what they're doing here in the United States. And the best way to find that out is to find out who they've been working with as far as elected officials go. We need to find which elected officials in the United States help them design this, help them put this together. So that's where I'm at now. The newspaper story on this should be coming out soon, and we'll cover that in a subsequent podcast entry. But for right now that I found all this stuff, and you guys should be seeing all this stuff soon, I'm looking into the Sister City program. There's this thing called the Sister City program. A bunch of cities use it, and they partner up with a sister city in China somewhere. So you'll have Brooklyn partnering up with Fuzhou, Fujian, or whatever the city's name is in China, and that they exchange. They have student exchange. They do all kinds of stuff like that. That's where I think this thing is sprouting out from. I could be wrong, but that's where I'm digging. Now, for everyone else who's listening, please do some digging as well. Please also share this. Please subscribe. And please come back for the next episode. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.